What's going on, YouTube? So, since all I do on my lunch breaks is sit in the car, I figured I might as well use this time and be productive and record some videos. So, we'll do some Flashback Fridays. Why not? So, my dad likes to think that all I have is terrible memories of him. But I do remember that I do have some fond memories of my father before I lost the vision of him being the hero. So before my family moved to Wisconsin, I remember my dad being my hero. And one of those core memories was of him when I was probably about, I have several memories coming to mind, and I'm probably going to end up sharing at least 3 or 4 memories in the next several videos. The first memory I want to share is when he built a basketball court. So we were living in the project, so I had to be about 4 or 5 at the time. And prior to him building the basketball court, there was no basketball court around the projects that we lived in. And we in our hometown, there were several projects, but we lived in the one that was under the bridge. And the schools, all the schools were across town. There was no parks. Our hometown is not like any other city where there's other parks and stuff outside of the school grounds. So if you wanted to go play basketball or football, you had to walk over to the schools to do so. So the kids in our projects had to go across town to do that. So to see my dad actually get the supplies and everything to actually build a basketball court behind the projects to make it easier for the kids in our neighborhood to be able to have that kind of recreation. It actually sticks with me. And this was in like if I was 4, so this was like 1985. And then my family left in 1988. We moved out of the projects this is 88. 85. We moved out of the projects probably a year or so later. Moved across town, closer to the schools. Years later, like 88, we moved out of our hometown, moved up north. But then we didn't go back down south until in 1992. My great grandmother died, and I don't remember going over there in that area at the time. But then in 1990, my junior year in high school, so 99, 98, 99, we went back down there. And we were just driving around town, and my mom took us over there, and I saw that they not only was the basketball court still there, but they had actually it was no longer the dirt basketball court that my dad built, but it was actually with the wooden pole, but they had actually put a metal pole and paved over concrete, paved over the put a slab down, basically made it an actual basketball court. So to see something that my dad actually did in the mid 80s turn into something that became long lasting. And if we go down there now, here in 2025, and it's still there, he actually left a legacy that he don't even realize that he left. And those that have come behind him that don't know the story don't even realize that Fred Burns actually built this basketball court, this original basketball court. And if people really wanted to, and people really thought enough of him, they really could have that basketball court dedicated to him and have his name put on that basketball court, because he's the founder of that basketball court, and he don't even realize that um, he has left his mark on that the housing projects. And if he had not done so many people dirty later on in life, they could really push to have his name put on there. But that is a core memory that I have of my father, that, to see me as a 4 or 5 year old kid, see my dad do something like that. And now I'm 45 years old, or 44 years old. I'm aging myself, dang. I don't know why I'm rushing to be 45. But 40 years later, to see that what my dad did way back then is still there, to me it means something. I don't know if he really thinks about it. He probably don't even remember that he did it. But it's just one of those memories that I have of him that it goes to show that not everything that I remember about my dad is terrible, but he don't even understand that. And I don't purposely hold on to those terrible things. I just remember, I do hold on to those things, and I have shared these things with him when we were on better terms. I mean, we're not on terrible terms right now. I just choose not to really deal a whole lot with him, because he kind of have, without physically doing so, he's kind of spit in my face with the way he treated me the last time he lived with me, and then everything I asked him to do for me, everything I asked for him to do for himself while he was living with me, he refused to do, and then he turned around and did when he went to live with his brother. And so I felt like that was like him kicking dirt back in my face. And so I have kind of distanced myself from my dad today. I hold no hard feelings towards my father, but I do hold on to those good memories like that, because if I hold on to the negative stuff, then I don't know. I just don't. I just choose to hold on to those memories of him being my hero versus those bad things. But he don't know that. He don't understand that at one point he was my hero. Before I got to know the villain in him. If that makes sense. But if I had the resources, and if I had the backing, I would like to have that basketball court dedicated to my father, because I think it's awesome that it's still there 40 years later. And me knowing that he was the one that built the original basketball court. Then if I talk to him again, and I know I will talk to him again, I don't know how soon, I will mention that to him. And actually, I'm going to send him this video. I'm going to ask him if he even remembers building that basketball court. But that's one of my memories of my dad. And should the day come that he crosses over and I decide to speak at his service, it'll probably be one of the things I do share, because I don't want to get up there and speak negative of the deceased. To keep things light and positive and not speak so ill will and share those dark times of our relationship, I will try to share things like this. But that's all for this Flashback Friday. I'm going to save the other ones for another video.